My name is Cheryl Whilby, and I'm the Communications Director at Soulfire Farm. Soulfire Farm is an Afro-Indigenous centered community farm, and our mission is really to uproot racism in our food system. We recognize that our food system is not broken at all. It's working exactly as it was designed to work. Um, the foundation of our food system was built around land theft and genocide of indigenous peoples and the exploitation of black and brown labor. And really, since our founding, we've been fighting for food justice for black and brown people in this country who we know are disproportionately impacted by food apartheid. Um, Black and brown folks are living in communities with limited access to fresh fruits and vegetables. And, the most convenient food option is a corner store down the street where you can get soda and chips. And the grocery store is over a mile away. If you don't have a car, that makes it really difficult and inconvenient to get to. But in a white neighborhood, there's a lot more options for purchasing fresh fruits and vegetables, and grocery stores are more conveniently located. Um, so we're really working to try and address this issue of food apartheid. And we also know that diet is very closely tied to the instances of chronic illnesses that we're also seeing in our communities, like diabetes and hypertension, really things that could be prevented if our communities just had access to that life-giving food. Um, at Soulfire, we are farmers, of course, but we are also food justice activists, and we're working to train up the next generation of food justice activists so that we really ensure that Black and Brown folks have a voice in our food system. I mean, Black farmers currently operate less than 2% of farms in this country, and 85% of the people working the land in the US are Latinx migrant workers. But only 2.5% of farms are owned and operated by Latinx folks. So, really, through our programming at Soulfire, we're trying to reverse this narrative and give our people the tools and the skills needed to operate their own farms and become food justice leaders in their communities to ensure that Black and Brown voices are being uplifted in policy concerning our food system. Soulfire Farm was founded by our two amazing co-directors, Leah and Jonah, out of a need that was really expressed by the community they were living in at the time, the south end of Albany, which is and was then a food desert. Um, and it's a predominantly Black community where it's easier to acquire soft drinks, chips, and fast food than it is to access fresh fruits and vegetables because the nearest grocery store is over a mile away. Eventually, word got out around the community that Leah and Jonah were living in that they actually know how to farm. And so their community asked them if they could start a farm to be able to feed their community members. I would say what keeps me motivated with this work is definitely hearing the success stories of our alumni, hearing that someone who graduated from our immersion program has their own farm, or they're managing a farm, or they're doing amazing food justice work in their community. That's always beautiful to hear and inspires me to keep going in this work. Um, it's hard sometimes because even though change is happening, for example, alumni being able to purchase their own land to start their own farm, the change is happening. It's not happening very quickly, so it's easy to get discouraged by that sometimes. So just reminding myself that the change is happening and you have these examples right in front of you of people that you personally know, that helps to keep me going and inspires me um, to continue with this work. I think that community members choose to connect with us, particularly by coming to the land, whether it be for immersions, community farm days, or another type of programming we're offering, because we really try to do our best to provide a safe space for not only learning but healing for our people. And Black and Brown folks in this country, we really have a deep and painful history of oppression, where land was often at the center. People were forced off their lands, and we see more folks of color living in urban environments with no real opportunity to be with and connect with the land. Um, Children are living in environments where it might not necessarily be safe to go outside and run around and get some exercise. So they stay in the house, and they're not moving as much. And that puts them at a higher risk for illnesses like obesity and diabetes. And this is why we invite people to come to the land, to join us on the farm and be with us for our programming and other events, so that our communities just have a safe space to connect with the land and be on the land, because we deserve to be there. You can learn more about Soulfire Farm by visiting our website, soulfirefarm.org. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at Soulfire Farm. And if you are interested in donating to our organization, we also have a convenient donate now button on our website as well.